all right. Party people in the place to be, vandals, and all you people out there looking for some horror, not hatred. This is a brand new episode of How Did We Get Here? Before we get any further, Joe, what do we got to shout out tonight?
Oh yeah. So once again, this episode is brought to you in collaboration with Power Pulp. We don't fit in, we stand out. So go to powerpulpcomics.com to pick up some great indie comics. So it's your one-stop shop for indie comics. And also, yeah, they have a Discord, so you can go check out the Discord as well.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
popping now. Like, there's good conversations about like tools to use. I find that chat particularly interesting. Like them telling you how to use midtones and stuff like that. Like, so yeah. But we're not here to talk about Power Pulp tonight. We are here with a creator who we are welcoming back on, who actually introduced one of our favorite things into our lexicon, pickled punks. Like me and Joe completely love that term now ever since I'd seen them in like Western horror and like freak show stuff before, but I didn't
Hmm.
know what they were called. But like you completely told us what they were called, and we're gonna go ahead and let you introduce yourself. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm J.M. Brandt, horror personality, and according to you guys, a master of modern horror, which made me feel really, really good on the inside, all warm and squishy.
This cover slaps, by the way, man. Like it made for like a really easy thumbnail to make too. Like I love the color choices. Me and Joe have been
Oh,
like
I know.
kind of seeing that lately, and like just using the blue and the red like that, like it fucking grabs your attention. I think that that's why kids like Superman and Spider Man so much. That red and that blue just bam pop together.
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, that one was drawn by Chad J. Keith or painted by Chad J. Keith. It is a painting. I think he's selling the original too. He is an artist that I've admired for years. Wanted to get him on Swamp Dogs at a certain point as a variant, and that didn't quite work out. So we touched base for this. He was all on board. He was like, "Oh, what do you want?" And I said, "Well, just do your thing." Because like if you've ever seen his page, and his Instagram is Chad Keith Helsinki, like as in the town. Um, he definitely has a theme. It's all like neon skulls. It's all done in sort of that same sort of fashion with the neon highlights and everything, but it's almost all like pinks and greens. And I said, well, for this one, how about we do red, white, and blue to make it a little patriotic, considering the theme of the book. And it turned out amazing. And we're going to be using it a lot, but it is only one of four covers that we're going to have for this anthology.
Okay, and it's the only one you got in so far, or
No, we're just pacing it out because we
okay.
have agreements with different news outlets for different articles and interviews and stuff, and so
Mm.
we're going to be sort of drip dropping releases and art gallery pieces and everything as time goes on.
Cool.
Yeah. You sent us some of that. Like, you got some pretty cool people involved, like the guy that does Eat the Rich, and there was a couple like paintings in there that like were just gorgeous, like the one that's in the background right now.
Oh yeah, that's Evil J. Actually, um, I have it right here. Give me 1 second.
Yep.
So I found Evil J because there was a company called Bifocal Media. Here's a free shout out to Bifocal Media. They do these limited run punk and metal t-shirts and skate decks and everything. And when I say limited run, I mean like 100 pieces of each, and that's it. And they had I don't know if you guys know the band Big Business, but I really like Big Business, and I was in the market for a new hoodie to live inside of during the fall months, and Evil J had my favorite design. So let's see if I can show it.
Oh, that's
That's
cool.
dope.
So yeah, I really liked it.
Zombie
So
Bigfoot, right?
yeah, like a
Kind of
skeletal zombie
skeletal
Bigfoot.
dick
Yeah,
painting. Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
this is actually they're so limited that they didn't have my size, and this is like a misprint, and it's a size up, and I still wear it.
Mm.
So it's like not even as cool as it normally would have been. But I still wear it pretty religiously now that it's getting cold outside. And he and I hooked up. He's expatriate to Japan, but is an artist. He volunteered to put in a piece in our art book portion of Horror Not Hate. So very, very thankful to him.
Yeah, man. So yeah, Horror Not Hate. You're doing this for charity, right? Like, how's that working? How does that
Yeah.
work? Just wondering.
It works sort of in a very difficult way. It's been really tough to put together because basically everybody is going and donating their work to this anthology and art book. What I did was I did some research. Basically, I don't like the way that things have been going. I was getting I've told this story a million times now, but I was feeling physically ill reading the news every morning. It was like Trump did this and Trump did that, and this administration did this, and ICE is here, and blah, blah, blah. My wife is a very big political activist in her own right. She's a protester. She's in a mutual aid. And she couldn't stomach me complaining and bitching about the news anymore. So she said one day in February, she said, well, just get off your ass and do something about it. And my ADHD brain took over, and I immediately posted to Instagram and was like, everybody who's upset with how things are going right now, contact me if you're an artist or a writer. And it was then that I decided I'm just going to take on a shit ton of work and put together an anthology so that I can raise a bunch of money, because I'm not a protester. I don't really believe that makes all that much of a difference. It doesn't matter if there's 10,000 or 10,001 No Kings people outside City Hall. If I could use my resources and my skills to raise, say, $20,000, $30,000 for charities to support rights for immigrants and the LGBTQIA plus community, then I think that makes more of a difference. And so that's sort of how I got to it.
Right, and for people that are worried about such things, man, this is a pretty fucking scary book. I was talking to one of our buddies who did a piece for it, Jonathan Chance, and his piece in particular, Tin Can Alley. God damn, what a short this is, man! It'll fuck you up.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly, that story. It fit perfectly. And Jonathan and I, we go back a ways. We're label mates on Dead Sky Publishing. He has a book there, I have a book there. We tabled together at a convention, and so when it came time to put the word out, he was one of the first to stand up and say, yeah, I support this, and I have a story that I think will work really good. We found a really cool artist. I really like the art in that one. His name is Russell Frechette, and this is actually his first published comic story. So cool. We do have very established artists, artists that have worked for the big two and a bunch of the bigger indies. But also I felt like if I was going to put together a book, I'd like to give some newbies a chance, because it's not easy to break in. So, that was sort of a conscious thing on my part, was mixing in veteran talent and also some up and comers that are anxious.
Like the lady that did Making a Difference. I don't think I've ever seen her before, but man, I had a lot of fun with this short. It's one of the more fun ones, I would say, in the book.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, there's definitely lighthearted stuff in there. I think Making a Difference might be the most lighthearted. That story is by Holly Interlandi, who has a resume that's pretty awesome. I actually got in touch with her through David M. Boer. I think that's how I pronounce his name. Is the H silent? Do you guys know?
I've never got to talk to him, but I love his comics. Yeah.
Okay. So David, if you're listening, I'm sorry if I got your name wrong, but he introduced me to Holly. Holly was all about it. had this great idea, and Daisy Church is the artist, and she just like ran with it. It was really cool. But yeah, again, that's an example of somebody that doesn't really have a resume in comics that I wanted to give a chance to.
It was definitely one of the more playful stories.
This is a spoilish panel. Like, out of context, nobody knows that. But like, yeah, I thought that this one like would be the perfect one to like just flash up and be like, yeah, this is just some of the funnier stuff that happens in the book, and you can guess what's going on there. But,
yeah. No, there's a few that are on the lighthearted side. I mean, the stories all revolve. When people ask, like, oh, is there a theme? I said it's horror based around hate, fascism, transphobia, homophobia, xenophobia, racism, or toxic patriotism. And definitely writers skewed into certain directions, but it's fairly well represented. And I thought it made sense for there to be like a unifying theme for the stories. The art gallery, not so much. It's kind of just horror in general for the most part, but the stories are all sort of that theme.
And a few of the stories incorporate multiple themes within the same story as well. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, especially like I'd say the sci-fi ones, which are on the more high concept side. And yeah, you guys are pulling up a page. That's Cameron Zavala, who's like an underground comics with an X genius, as far as I'm concerned. And his story is very cool. It's about race and, loyalty and everything else. And it's super messed up. Not as messed up as his other stuff, but it's up there for sure.
I have to look him up. I really liked Homogenes, so yeah.
Yeah, no, he his work is mostly in anthologies. I know he's done some self-published stuff. I found him through the Permanent Damage show, if you guys are familiar with that. That's put on by Keenan Marshall Keller of The Humans.
Yeah.
And and Tom Neely. And so I went one day and I met Cameron and I met Nick Ruby, who was supposed to be the artist on my story, but scheduling conflicts got in the way. We really hit it off, and Cameron is very much a like mind. He's a beautiful mind, like like Russell Crowe. Like you know that there's so much more going on behind those eyes than you can fathom. But he's on his own wavelength, and that's something I really value with different comic creators, is if you have a unique voice, a unique style, and you're uncompromising. I think that's really cool.
And those alien designs are freaking phenomenal.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah,
like it's so gnarly.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I agree. It's kind of funny. I actually just got a tattoo by him because he's starting to tattoo. Yeah. And he gave me a preview of some of his upcoming other stories. And those things are vile. They're fascinating, but they're vile. I mean, we're talking about like being penetrated by a dick so hard that it bursts through your chest cavity like an alien xenomorph.
Some Tim Vigil type stuff, kind of like did you ever see EO by him?
Oh yeah. And God, what did he say? He said that comic was inspired by the Cramps and some metal band that I'm forget. Oh, and Chat Pile. So it's based on Cramps and Chat Pile lyrics.
Cool.
And it's No, you guys definitely need to check them out. Anybody listening?
I'm familiar with Chat Pile. Yeah.
Okay.
They're a Kansas City based band. Yeah. And Cameron's awesome. So anybody interested in his work should check him out. I know that he's a participant in an anthology series called Vacuum Decay, which I highly recommend. Cool. Very cool. Yeah.
You also there's some kind of cool messing with time stuff in here too, like the Rich Duick story. I think that this is this supposed to be silent, or is there going to be
No, it will be lettered.
Mhm.
That's kind of the problem of like beginning your promotion during pre-launch is certain stories aren't as far as long as you would like. So that is with a letterer right now. It is a World War II concentration camp story. Rich knocked it out of the park. It's called the Rag Pickers, I think, or
Dragon
Rag
Ball?
and Bone. Rag and Bone. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's phenomenal. Caleb Beatty, who's just, I mean, you saw that page. He's just a brilliant artist. So that might be one of my favorite stories in the book. Between the two of them, it's a very serious story. It's one of two stories that deal with the Holocaust.
Mhm.
um, my story is also going to deal with it, but in modern day, as opposed to Rich's, which is during uh, the Nazi extermination project.
And the only reason why I asked if that's going to be lettered is because like it's really easy to follow. Like it's a
Yeah.
great story just looking at it with just the art. So
100%. Yeah, and that's one of the things that I found really interesting about a lot of these
Mhm.
stories is the theme is so brilliant and blinding that the progression of the panels, the pages, everything, it just spells it out for you. Almost every single one of these comics could be wordless and you'd be able to follow along, which I think is really cool. Mine, for example, has no dialogue at all. And it's yet to be drawn up, but it is set to a poem that was written inside of a concentration camp during World War II. So that's the only narration is a poem.
that's awesome. Yeah. I can't wait to get this book and read all the stories because I mean I love what you showed us. Like there's only a little bit of Frankie White's but like I love this art. I love what he's has here. So I can't wait to see what else is going on. And it's not your house. I love that title and the art there. It's just oh dude, it's very creepy. It's really
The,
cool.
the the art's fantastic, isn't it? That's a Greek artist named Vasilis Goxilis. Uh, Again, don't know if I'm pronouncing it right because I'm not like hip to Greek all that well. But he did a variant cover for Swamp Dogs #1, and we connected there. And he really wanted to join in. And one of the things that I think is really interesting about this project is that it's not just American artists and writers that are participating. It's an international effort because everybody sees what's going on here and everybody sees what's creeping up in their own countries and they just want to put an end to it and say, this is where I stand. Maybe not all my art is political, maybe not all my art is a statement, but I'm going to make a statement here. And
It is
so
a
it's
very
been really
it is a very not borderless problem though, you know what I mean? Like there is like a very hard lean to the right that a lot of the world is taking right now. Like you have
100%.
Italy like going back to fascism, you have that guy in Argentina, you got the lesser of German bad guys that won the election. Luckily it wasn't the guy Elon wanted, but like yeah, dude, like it
Oh
looks like
yeah.
they're trying to set up a world front, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
true.
scary. So like it's really good to see that like yeah, the other artists are just like yeah, this is going to probably happen in my country too. So I should take this
Right.
a little more seriously than it's just oh, it's the Americans' problem. Like kinda, but like at the same time, like it's a problem that's creeping in everywhere.
Well, I mean, as much as other countries don't want to admit it, and it feels kind of egotistical to say it, but it's pretty clear that we as a country are still considered a cultural leader. We're still considered a political leader. We're still one of the big movers and shakers in the international community, despite how much Trump is fucking it up. Um, and I think a lot of countries get emboldened by what it is that we wind up doing. It's a little case of monkey see, monkey do, and if the U.S. can get away with it, then we can get away with it over here. And I think that is helping to fuel the extreme right in all these countries. It's always been there, and it's always been in every country. Idiots and fascists and racists and homophobes and transphobes, they exist everywhere. Like, that's not going away. But there certainly is, with it being so high profile here, an emboldening across the world, and we're seeing political movements everywhere just gain steam, gain traction from all these hateful people that are just fucking internet trolls and people that don't have anything better to do with their lives.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of it. I don't even think people are cognizant of like how terrible they're being. You know what I mean? Like, otherwise, I give people way too much credit. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, I think you do, Johnny. There's some people that are just fucked up and rotten, and maybe it's not even their fault. Maybe they just got raised by hate, and so hate is all they know.
Yep.
Definitely, I had some mixed messages growing up. I was raised with some false information that caused me to believe certain things that I shouldn't have. I was raised in a Zionist household and never really caught into that. That was something that a little jam was smart enough to feel not comfortable with. But it exists. There's biases that run in every bloodline, and it's
which is showed beautifully in the Make Him Proud short
Yes.
in the book. Like, oh man, this one's gut wrenching. Like, and I think that this is happening in so many houses across America right now that it's not even funny.
Oh, for sure. What's actually really interesting about it is I was expecting people to get really fantastical with these stories. I kind of just let every writer pitch what they had. A lot of them went for grounded horror, which goes to show how awful the state of affairs is right now. That all these very extremely plausible scenarios also double as horror stories for a horror comic anthology. But they're out there and they exist, and that is one of them for sure.
Well, it's like you said, it's always been there at the surface, but now with a person like Trump as leader, it emboldens people to like come forward with this thing that was just sitting at the surface, where people were kind of tiptoeing around. Now people are coming out chest pumped out, where they were kind of like a little more timid about pronouncing certain things, and now they feel emboldened, like this person has my back now. The leader of our country has my back. I can do this. And just look at all the people that he's pardoned for
you mean all the rioters, all the January 6th rioters, exactly. And how a bunch of them are ICE agents now. And I'm seeing videos every day, like every single day I'm seeing a video like, oh, this ICE agent in Chicago, this ICE agent in Portland, this ICE agent in LA has a swastika tattoo and is trying to pin some guy by his neck to the floor. It's very clear who is supporting this and the people that have doubled down, because I'm sure that there are supporters that voted for Trump that see what's going on, that see all the cuts to veteran care, that see all the cuts to Medicaid, that see all the cuts to vital services that are just depriving everybody. And they're oh, I didn't sign up for that. But there are people that are doubling down, and those are the most hateful people of all. It's pretty rough.
Also, you got to think modern America, not just U.S., Canada, North America. Modern North America was built on the back of migrants, of what we know today, right? I mean, and now you're trying to say, oh, only these immigrants are allowed, but not those. It's very hypocritical.
Right. Well, when Elon was the golden boy for the administration, and they let in all those South African white immigrants, right? There was special passage made for them, and it was oh, okay, so that's the kind of immigration that you're looking for. Not skilled labor, not people that are good at their job, but just the right color, the right hair color. Well, it's fucking disgusting, because I was raised in all my schools and everything else to like the American dream is that we're a melting pot. We take the best and brightest of everybody. We take the most ambitious, we take the most talented, and we incorporate it, and we like drizzle in some of their culture, and that's what makes America great, is that the culture is just a mix of everything and everyone.
Yeah, and it's and I live in a province in Canada that's extremely divided because I come from Quebec. So
Oh, okay.
culture is extremely a touchy subject. And I remember the prime
Wait.
minister at one point said that they only wanted French Swiss or French from France immigrants. They didn't want other ones because French culture is extremely important. There's laws against like other languages being posted on signage and stuff
Right.
like that. So
Yeah.
and that's like he was like, no, we only want white French speaking, like Caucasian French immigrants. That's
Right.
what we
Yeah.
want.
No Cote d'Ivoire. No.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Which is really unfortunate, but I mean, like, that's the way it goes, and that's the way it goes with like so many people and so many things, is just these biases that exclude people based on appearance and stuff, and it's ridiculous. It's all about what's inside of a person. Like, I'm very happy to hate people and hate people on a broad scale, but I'm judging them based on their character. I'm not judging them based on anything else.
And not just that, you do have immigrants here, right?
Yeah.
And you're forcing them to drive cabs where, like, because we have a lack of nurses and doctors. It's becoming a problem, right, within the healthcare system. And you have these immigrants come in, but you're not allowing them to practice, let's say, medicine. And I understand maybe the standards aren't the same, but you can let them do like an equivalency test or something to see their knowledge, right? But it's here, true. On top of that, language is an issue. So if they can't speak, but I mean, in medicine, the doctors rarely speak to patients. It's usually the nurses that kind of relay most of the information. Prescriptions are all used, like, it's all Latin terms, all the medication or whatever. It's universal language. Like, I mean, why not take advantage of these like immigrants you're bringing in, instead of making them like, especially when you have a lack of something,
it's
like
true.
It just boggles my mind that, I don't know. It's just weird how people put these things in place because, right, doctor's an important position, right? So if you bring in too many immigrants that aren't from your country into a position of power, well, then you lose that power because you're giving it up to, an intellectual or someone who's like intellectually maybe and financially superior to maybe the rest of your population. So, you're handing power over to what you consider not native to your country, right? And I think there's that fear of losing that power, right? To something you're unfamiliar with, or someone that doesn't look the same as you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but like Canada is very much like America in that way, right? Like, it is the promise of the new, quote unquote, new world, because we know what we stole from everybody else, right? But I think Canada is very much the same way. It's like, we're going to take everybody in, and we're going to make this country the best, I guess, subject of the British Empire that it could be. Is that like,
we're still part of the Commonwealth? Yeah. So
right. Yeah. So but the philosophy is still the same, and it very much it is sort of that fear of loss of identity. But but that's what our identity is. And I don't think that we should be afraid of it. And sorry, going back to your topic or subject about the cab drivers, funny enough and stereotypical enough, before I learned how to drive, and I didn't learn how to drive until I was 18 because of I really like drinking and doing drugs, and my birthday was 2 days after the cutoff where 16-year-olds couldn't drive unsupervised or something. It was some weird thing. Basically, I lucked out and decided that I would never be the designated driver ever in my teenage years. And I graduated high school early, and so I'm 17 and I'm house sitting kind of far. And so I began college at 17 using a cab for the first like 3 weeks.
Wow.
And every
At 17.
at 17, taking
Wow.
a cab at like 5:30 in the morning to get to college on time. And as stereotypical as it sounds, every single cab driver was this like guru of knowledge and information and cultural exchange. There were former doctors, there were former architects, there were former philosophers. It was fascinating, and just talking to them every single time, and just learning about their experience and why they came over and everything was really formative for me.
Yeah. Well, most of the cases, it's to give their children the opportunity at a better life, or more opportunities to try to open more doors for them compared to maybe what they would probably be allowed if they stayed in their own country. That's what a lot of them come over for, right? It's not for themselves personally, but for their families.
Right.
And that there's something very, very honorable in that. Where
I think so.
People that sacrifice their, like, especially in today's day and age where everything's about the individual, me, myself, and I, right? We live in like social media culture where everything's about me. How many likes can I get? Look at this post. It went viral. And it's, like it's all about me. And to have these people that come over and sacrifice maybe their career, they're like they've established a pretty good life, a lot of them. And they come over here just because of the promise of opportunity, right? That maybe their children will have more than they did because of maybe they are from a communist country or a country that led by a dictator, which we're probably getting close to that now. So
just a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, he said as much, right? Like,
well, who knows? Maybe a lot of American doctors will be leaving the States to go to other countries and driving cabs.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. It depends on how far this thing goes. I'm trying to step out in front of it, like I'm trying to come into oncoming traffic. If I paint a target on my back, I'm more than happy to do it for the cause of just fucking sanity and common decency and human rights. And hope, I feel like everybody else that is standing up, all these like people in Portland that are doing like super Portlandy things during the protests, the frog costumes and stuff, the people in LA and Chicago that are like filming everything and getting up in immigration enforcement faces.
What? I want to go back to, you said they're in frog costumes?
Oh yeah, have you not seen the Portland frog?
I don't no, I don't. My wife is in on news. I don't watch news. I don't tune into stuff. I keep my algorithm extremely clean because like a lot of people, I'm sick of it all. So my algorithm is back to something that I enjoy going on to social media and looking at what comes up on my timeline. So what's the frog thing all about?
Oh, okay. So first of all, like I'm seeing some chat pop up, and I feel bad that I can't like type to everybody, but Kev, who is actually doing a story in our book called United We Stand with Joshua Rubin. He is saying that it's already happened with some scientists and academics, and absolutely that is the case. My wife, her background is her parents came over from Mexico, and when Trump got reelected, one of the first things I did was plead with her for us to emigrate somewhere. That was my instinct, was like, let's just get the fuck out of Dodge and what have you. But it's the Portland frog is a guy showed up at a protest in the faces of immigration agents wearing an inflatable frog costume to show the inherent stupidity, silliness of this whole situation. It's like, oh, Portland is a war zone and it's a hellhole and it's like one of the worst places, and that's why we have to deploy the military. And it's like, no, it's just a bunch of artistic weirdos that are like loving each other, and there's a reason that there's the show Portlandia, right? Like it is exactly that. I've been a couple times. I love the place. but it really is almost a caricature of itself, to the point where if you were going to target a city for being violent and for being some sort of like a testing ground for how the military can intervene and make things more peaceable and law-abiding, Portland's not the place you want to do it. Portland is like the happiest city in the world.
Memphis is the only one that he's mentioned that I'm like, okay, that could probably like use some help, man. Memphis is help up. Like,
so here's the thing is, and this is like the whole defund the police argument too, is if you bring in a square peg, right, to fit into a round hole, or sorry, I'm getting my metaphors mixed up. Like if you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? That's what I was going for. Escalating things, bringing in people that are geared up in military outfits and face gaiters that are hiding their identity. All you're doing is making things worse. All you're doing is escalating. Are crimes out of control in big cities? Like, I mean, they're probably higher than they should be, but they've been going down every year. It's not like anything has skyrocketed and places are like Baghdad or something. There's the wrong side of the tracks, supposedly. And even that, I think, is a bit of a misnomer done by middle class and privileged people. But it doesn't need fucking military intervention. It doesn't need the National Guard to come in and do the job that they think the police should be doing. But the police shouldn't even be doing it.
Well, it's not right. Like that's not even really the point, though. The point is, like, if you look at all the places he's trying to invade, they all have one thing in common: they're mostly made up of people that didn't vote for him.
Vote for him, yeah.
Oh, 100%, 100%. I mean, just the fact that because I'm an Angelino and I'm a lifelong Angelino, they had the National Guard deployed to MacArthur Park. And they had military vehicles in there. They had people on horseback chasing down all these people. MacArthur Park, if you guys have ever heard of it, like, it's the place where you can get, like, I mean, it's a survival economy. So it's not like everything's legitimate. That's where you go to get your fake ID if you're under 21, right? It is a little bit ramshackle. It does feel a little bit like being south of the border. There's a heavy Mexican population down there, but it's fine. It's like, it's fucking nice to go to. Like, MacArthur Park itself is not all that bad. There's a lot of homeless people because homelessness is a severe problem and issue in California that needs to be addressed, and really that's where
it's
money should be going.
It's become a global issue, to be honest. Since the pandemic, with the housing crisis, the global housing crisis, it's becoming a pandemic of its own. The homeless problem. It
really has. Yeah, and honestly, like the neighborhoods that I was living in pre-pandemic definitely got worse over time, as far as people that were just lost and needed help and aren't getting the resources. But not to like go political history or anything, but in California at least, a lot of it is to be put at the feet of Ronald Reagan. When he was governor, and he really fucked things up in a lot of ways.
Institutions and stuff.
Yeah, and just really like kind of making it taboo to be somebody that needs mental health assistance or addiction health assistance, right? Like,
didn't Trump?
That's the issue.
What wasn't one of the first things he did when he got into power was try to defund the suicide hotline?
Oh yeah. No, that's one of my favorite things that happened was like the suicide hotlines have been defunded. The trans specific suicide hotlines have been defunded. And
like, why? Like, I just don't understand the reasoning for it. Where you have people that are in crisis, and you're taking away a very simple resource to them, where they probably don't have enough money to.
They don't want poor people around anymore, Joe. They want to get rid of anybody that's not like.
Yeah, but not only poor suicide isn't a poor person's problem.
No, it really isn't.
It's a societal problem based on like a lot of people I know that work incredible amount of hours, that have a house, are weighed down by incredible debt. You know, one little thing goes wrong in their life and all that stress adds up to a lot. And of course they think suicide because, you know, if I like, you know, all that pressure and all that weight, like sometimes they're like, I'll never get out of it. Like it's too much. And they start thinking weird, you know, like the easy way out, put a gun in my mouth or put the hose in through the window and, you know, start the car, you know, like they just can't see the light at the end of the tunnel.
So, yeah, but we're talking about a group of people that get everything that they need to know in their life from Joe Rogan. They think that Elon Musk is the greatest genius that ever walked the earth.
Mm-hmm.
They think RFK Jr. is right about Tylenol causing autism. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about a special breed of fucking idiots that roam the earth now, Joe.
It is a special breed of idiots, and they're malicious, and I think that's like the number one thing, and I think that's what Cookie was saying in the chat too. Is they're just trying to justify the chaos. They're trying to justify the maliciousness, the cruelty of it all, right? I'm a major depressive disorder sufferer. I live with depression. I have a dotted line and scissors on my wrist. My go-to if things are not going right, if the brain chemicals in my head are not right, is I just want to like drive into oncoming traffic or off a cliff. Holy shit. I just want to walk into the sea, and that's a battle that I fight almost on a daily basis.
I'm right there with you, bro.
Yeah, and you know, people need assistance. People need help.
That's what I mean.
Need
like
guidance.
And just because you don't see the value in it doesn't mean the value's not there. That's what I find is so frustrating, that people are unable to put themselves in someone else's shoes.
Right.
Or they refuse to. Or there's a complete refusal because then it shines a light on themselves. Like, maybe I'm not as good of a person as I thought I was, you know? And that's a hard thing to face, the truth, right? About yourself. And people don't like hearing truths about themselves that aren't, oh, you're the best, I'm going to pat you on the back because you're such a great person, you know? People don't like those hard truths. No. And sometimes it's just easier to push the blame on someone else, or accountability is a very, very rare quality that people have.
It's true.
And not enough people have it.
Yeah, no. I mean, the people that go around in life seeing other people as human beings, as reflections of themselves, right? And we're going to, sorry, this is the philosophy major in me coming out. We're going to French existentialism. We're going to hell is other people. Realizing that you and everybody else are suffering just the same, and that every single person has a different perspective, different set of eyes, and a different head, but all experiences the same ups and downs and highs and lows as everybody else. Like, that's really, it's a difficult way to live, but that is the right way to live, is to understand that everybody struggles, and that everybody needs assistance, and that everybody needs to be lifted up.
And like, I mean, that's exactly we'll get back, like, this is all spurred on because of the book that you're putting out.
Yeah, you know, it's all very relevant.
So, sorry to get on my soapbox and everything.
But that's fine. That's what the book's about, right? It's putting a spotlight on maybe some of the things that are happening that people bury their heads in the sand, you know?
There's one that really terrifies me. There's the story Power, which, like, he is literally saying that he wants to find out the addresses, the last 4 social security numbers and phone numbers of anybody that voted against him. And why does he want that information? I can't see otherwise to put us in fucking vans and turn us into human batteries, you know what I mean? Or something along those kind of lines. Like, there's not a really good reason for him to want that type of stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Opinion.
But what?
Right.
This is Trump wants that all that info?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
See, that should be in a constitution that.
Oh, it is. There's lots
Okay.
of things in the Constitution that he has gotten away with doing
Mhm.
in this 9 months of hell. Like nothing that he's done has been legal. Like he can't make tariffs out of his own ass and force them on the world. That's the thing that Congress is supposed to be able to only be able to do.
Mm.
He can't just murder boats from Venezuela because he thinks that there's drugs on them. That's a war crime.
Well, listen, I always said like how Trump was like, oh, a lot of the drugs come through Canada. I'll be like, I've always said this. I was like, all right, we'll make a deal with the U.S. We'll keep the drugs out of your country. You keep your guns out of ours, and we'll have a deal. We'll shake on that one. I'm down for that deal.
Well,
If you can keep your guns in your country, then we'll be more than happy to keep the drugs in our country. You know what I mean?
But I want some of that fine BC bud.
You could just cross the border.
I've never been to Canada. I'd like to.
Okay.
No, yeah. No, I definitely, I want to do Vancouver. I want to do Quebec, Montreal specifically.
Well, if ever you come to Montreal, hit me up because I live just outside of Montreal. I'm 45 minutes from Montreal. So I used to live in Montreal, but I moved back to the country.
Okay.
What's the weed laws over there? I never asked you.
Weed laws? Pretty liberal. I mean, we have our own stores and stuff.
Okay, so it's not medicinal. You could just like walk in and show your ID and buy whatever you buy whatever you want, up to an ounce, probably.
As long as you're of an age, you could buy, whatever. It's just you show your ID to make sure you're of an age, and you can buy whatever the hell you want.
Nice. So,
so you have some that are no THC. You have some with. So it depends what you want. If you want gummies for like anti-inflammatories, you can get them without THC. If you don't want the high. And we have our own. It's like a liquor store, but just for weed. A dispensary, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it's very similar to the way that it is here in LA.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty. It's across Canada. It's like that now.
I'm a California boy too, but like I moved to Oklahoma tragically, and like I'm terrified to go outside now. I'm from Modesto, you know what I mean, and like where I grew up, like being white was kind of like a weird thing. Like, we had a lot of Cambodians, Filipinos, Mexicans, and Koreans. You know what I mean? If you were like a white supremacist, you weren't going to have friends. You know what I mean? Or like very few. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Modesto is really interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's a trip, man. Molesto, I know you guys like to call it down there.
I've never heard that one actually. No, I had some friends in Fresno, and so like I'm just like pretty familiar with all those central Californian cities, and you guys are like it's interesting because it's like a mix of like the conservative and the liberal and. Oh yeah, Johnny, are you moving to Canada?
I want to go visit Joe at some point. Like I'm maybe gonna when the Comic-Con's going on up there, so I could go hang out with him and Adrian.
But if you do, let me know ahead and get a ticket to Burlington because the flight will be cheaper, and I can go pick you up in Burlington.
No, Joe, I'm just gonna show up at your fucking house with the.
No, but don't buy a ticket to Montreal. You'll be paying like $1,000. Whereas if you get a flight just within the States.
Yeah,
because I live like right by the border, and Burlington's like maybe an hour's drive, not even, maybe a little less. So if you get a flight to Burlington, you're probably paying a quarter of the price for a plane ticket. And I can just go pick you up there. Don't take a plane from the States to Montreal. It'll be too much. I can pick you up in Burlington. It'll be like a quarter of the price.
Cool. Yeah. I don't know. Like I don't know about moving to Canada. I would love to travel, you know what I mean, but like I don't want to stay on the North American continent. I'd like to go see something way different, you know what I mean.
I know where you'd like to move.
Yeah, everybody knows
Japan,
where my weeaboo ass would like to move.
Japan is pretty cool.
Yeah,
it is pretty cool. I don't know. I feel like I'd get along better. Like if I weren't so goddamn patriotic, I think I'd like to move to Canada. But I still believe in the American dream, even if it's dormant right now.
See,
I
I
consider
don't have.
Canada America. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really believe in borders, though, to tell you the
Yeah.
truth.
No,
I'm
no,
not-
absolutely. I'm all for like the new world order, one government for everything. Nations are it's kind of like sports teams, but for people that don't like sports.
Yeah, I'm patriotic to the point is I love where I grew up and I'll always love it, but I won't, not to the point where, like, I don't know, how could I say that? You know, I'll always respect where I'm from, but,
Right.
you know, but there's a lot of things I don't like about it as well. So
Well, of
I'm not going to be
course.
there and be rah, rah, rah when, you know, it's far from being perfect, you know, but there are a lot of
Yeah.
things where I grew up that I love about this place. Like when we were going through probably another referendum to try to separate from Canada, my wife's like, we're moving if we separate. I was like, well, I don't know, man. My life is here. I don't know if I could just get up and just leave just like that, just because, you know, we're not a part of Canada, you know. I
Je suis
mean,
Québécois, huh?
yeah, well, she's French too, so
Oh, okay. Well,
she's just hates all the politics and all that.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like my family, if the rest of my family moved and everything, and there's like a major exodus, then maybe I would follow. But I don't know. I kind of enjoy the culture, you know, the French, the English, if you go to Montreal, it's very multicultural. Like I love it. All the different food, all the different and I don't see how people cannot. Like that's where I have a roadblock is where how could you not welcome multiple cultures like that and just be able to
That's
live
how I feel.
like eat
Yeah, I
sushi,
mean, like, just
eat
for the
Lebanese,
food. Yeah.
Indian, Mexican. I mean,
Hey, fusion food.
Portuguese. Right? I mean, yeah. I mean, there's just so many. You know, Italian. I mean, like you don't need to travel the world if where you live is so multicultural. You can get a little piece of it every day of the week if you wanted to. Just stop in for lunch here or there, or you know, a little taste of the world. You know, like I don't know.
100%. Yeah, like all the migrant communities, right? Like all the little neighborhoods settled by the immigrants. That's great. I actually last weekend just had fusion food that was awesome, and this is like an only in America sort of thing. I had something called the Curry Pizza Company, and it was Indian pizza fusion, like a buttered chicken pizza and a tikka masala pizza. Oh my god!
Well, naan bread, so you know. I mean, I love naan bread and butter chicken. So right there, you're halfway there already, right?
Right. Yeah. More or less.
Yeah. So you're just interpreting it in a different way, you know, and yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I love Indian foods, so yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh, for sure.
I've got to now that we're kind of easing off the political talk a little bit, I got to compliment you on that wallpaper in the background.
Oh, thank you. It is peeling. It's like one of those stick-on wallpapers.
Got you. But it's cool. I like the pattern. I like the design.
Thank you. I really like it too. It's something that my wife and I agreed on. Yeah. And this is our den. So realistically, it should be where everybody is able to go. But for some reason, nobody feels comfortable in here but me. And I'm comfortable in here because my writing desk is here. And all my bullshit on the walls, all my little toys, all my horror prints and stuff, they're all here. So yeah, this is Dad's domain in the condo.
It's an aesthetic I miss. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, like everybody had wallpaper, but now everybody just has white walls everywhere. You know what I mean? It's kind of just homogenized, not in a good way.
Right. Well, I mean, I would recommend this peel and stick wallpaper, which is how we did this. But I don't know if you can see it. There are pieces that are coming down right
there
now.
You go.
Yeah. So it's like a constant battle against entropy. But
you know what? Just get some ticky tag and just put it in the corner.
Yeah, well, exactly. I just needed another print up there and to nail it in
to hold it. Yeah, and lean it against it. Yeah.
Well, it kind of adds to the horror aesthetic. You know what I mean? Like you can just put the spider webs with the cracked wallpaper up there. And
there you go. Yeah.
So the pre-launch is up, right? For horror.
The pre-launch is up. Yes.
I think, Johnny, you
That's
dropped it early on before we started talking, so I don't know if you want to re-drop it in the
chat.
chats. Yeah. So people
Yeah.
can go sign up to the pre-launch for it. And you're hoping to launch probably in November, sometime in November,
well,
you're saying?
okay. So what I was talking to you guys about before we started rolling is that I've been a part of one anthology that was on Kickstarter. I wasn't responsible for the Kickstarter, but it took forever for, like, after it was funded, for the book to come out.
Yeah.
I don't want that for Kickstarter backers. I don't want, to for people to commit and then like 7 months later, 8 months later, the book comes out. So I don't want to run the campaign until things are print ready. Basically, I want to make sure that when people back this project, that they're going to have a book in their hands pretty much right away. And so the goal is late November at this point. But I don't want to hold myself to that, just because this is a charity book. Schedules come up. People are starving artists, and so they might have to take a gig really fast and like divert their attention for a little short period of time. But the goal is end of November. We're basically done. There's just a few final details to get in. And at that time, we're still collecting artists for the art gallery, which is phenomenal. Like, at this point, it's as much an art book as it is a comic anthology, and the higher profile people are in the art gallery. We have Skinner and Corinne Halbert, and we just got a handful of new artists over the weekend when I was at Son of Monster Palooza. So the roster keeps growing, and by the time that the campaign launches, I'm sure this book is going to be 50 pages bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
So how big is it planned to be? I mean, like
it is already at like 250 pages.
That's what I was going to say, because you already gave us like I think 9 stories, and like they were all like about 10 pages each. So
there's 25 stories. They're all between 4 and 10 pages each, except Tim Wagner. I allowed him to do 11 pages because this is only his second comic. He's a Bram Stoker Award winner. He's a Shirley Jackson Award winner. He's a phenomenal writer and like a phenomenal teacher for horror writing in general. And this is only his second attempt at a comic, so I wanted to give him the space to do what he wanted. So this is 11 pages.
Is he one of the ones you showed us, or
no? Actually, that is one of the ones where we got an artist late, but it's a match made in heaven. We have Pat Higgins on the art for it. Pat is like previewing some of the panels as he's doing them out on his Instagram page, and maybe I can get his handle for you guys real quick. But it is about people turning into murder apes because of their hate, and just how transformative hate can be, and how infectious hate can be. And Pat is just knocking it out of the park every time I see a panel for it. I'm just floored by it.
Figgins80 is his handle.
Okay, thank you.
On
Instagram. All of a sudden, my internet doesn't want to cooperate with me, so it was taking time for me. But yes, his
P.
stuff
Higgins
is phenomenal.
80. So P. Higgins 80.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe. So all the other stories are between 4 and 10 pages. There's 25 stories, so that's a lot. Chris Condon of Ultimate Wolverine, and that Texas
Blood, and
Texas Blood. He's doing a forward for us, as well as me, because I'm a windbag, so I'm going to want to get on my soapbox for that. So it's going to be big. It's going to be big. We're beginning to partner with different companies that are giving us merch for backer rewards in exchange for like a little advertisement in the back of the book also. So there's going to be like some really incredible opportunities to get some cool stuff on top of the book. We're going to be merching out a lot of the art that's in the art galleries and in the comic
Cool.
and the covers. Skinner, who's an amazing artist, does his own comic Skin Crawl, but has done like a Mastodon album cover and a High on Fire album cover. He is doing one of our variant covers for the anthology, and he gave us this art piece that is not proportional to comics. And so I have to crop it in a certain way, and it's cutting off so much cool stuff. But he said, yeah, man, like just go ahead and put a poster out. Like if it'll raise more funds, put a poster out, put it on a shirt, do whatever you want with it. So we're going to be doing posters of the full print of Skinner there. And so, yeah, we're going to like really try and make it worth everybody's while to donate as much money as possible, because you're going to be getting a bunch of cool shit, and then on top of that, all that money is going to either Churla for immigrant rights or Lambda Legal for LGBTQIA rights.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the two charities.
Those are the two charities.
There's not really going to be nothing going to the to you or the artists or anything?
No, I mean, as much as I would love to help out the creators and everything, after fulfillment, Kickstarter fees, and printing, all the money is just going to charity.
I respect that. That's awesome. You don't really hear that too often, so that's rad. I didn't know you could.
Right.
That.
Well, it felt weird for me to approach creators and be like, hey, can you do this book that's going to be under my new imprint, Slow Feet Comics, and I'll make some money off of it, but like you guys, you're doing it for charity. That's not cool. So I just want to raise as much money as I can for these charities. They need the money more than I do, even though I'm hurting, and all of us are starving artists. So, like, that's why it's taken so long, is everybody keeps having to pick up gigs just to like survive and pay rent and pay medical bills. Jonathan Lamantia, who's doing a cover for us, is like losing his insurance and all kinds of stuff, and I'm just seeing like all these sub stories from creators that have already contributed to the book, and they're in dire need of money. Like, this is like panic level for all of us, on top of the mental stress and anguish of like living in a world where things are on fire. But all of us decided to band together and contribute. And I think the fact that I'm doing all of this on my own, I organized all the teams, I'm managing all the teams, I'm the editor on all the stories, I'm doing all the press, I'm doing all the fulfillment, I'm doing all the printing, I'm doing everything. I think the fact that they saw that I was willing to go and do everything for nothing is the reason why they feel that they contribute or can contribute a story or 10 pages of coloring or 10 pages of lettering for the same thing that I'm putting months into.
Yeah. So in light of that, let's shift over to something that might make you some money.
Okay.
So let's talk about some books that you could sell and actually make money.
Money's good. Yeah, like give me money.
So do you have any projects
just
coming out? Like maybe talk to us about some projects that are coming out, books being released by publishers or that are still on sale or available where people can pick up your work.
Right.
Some of your other work.
So people can always hit me up. I'm the only one that has certain variants for Swamp Dogs still available. If you're interested in Swamp Dogs, which is my first book, it is an incomplete miniseries. Little bit on that. Our contract is up with Scout. There is movement. It is going to happen, people. I promise. Because I've been telling people for like 2 years that we're going to finish the book. And, it's all scripted. Issue 4 is almost completely inked except for one page. Issue 5 is the last issue of the series. So it's we're basically done, and it will get published. We have a couple publishers that are circling now that our contract is up. You can still buy that. You can still contact me for that. Dead Sky Publishing still does have some copies of Swallower of Shades in stock, which is my one shot. That is a one-shot about a mummy in an Old West freak show and the sheriff investigating the murders. And it's my favorite thing that I've written so far. I do have an upcoming series. not allowed to talk about it too much yet, but it is a vampire series. It's going to be really cool. It is coming from a publisher I've worked with in the past, and that is also something that I'm extremely proud of. I'm extremely excited for. It's not straight horror. I was telling you guys before we rolled, it's going to be sort of like Grosse Point Blank meets HBO's Girls, but with vampires.
Yeah.
So that's the shtick there. So we're getting an artist on that this week or next week, and in short order, we're going to get the pages drawn up, and scripts are already turned in. So it's only a matter of time before that one's out on shelves.
So 2026 is probably going to be a pretty busy year for you.
2026 is going to be a busy year for me. Yeah, definitely. And if this Kickstarter campaign goes well, Slow Feet Comics is going to be publishing some selfish projects also. I have a giallo that I really want to write, and I think it's perfect for Kickstarter before any other publishers. It's a giallo that takes place at a summer camp that's being used as a porn set in the 1970s. And so it's like mob and porn and summer camp and 70s and giallo. So looking forward to doing that one.
Cool.
So definitely, like, if anybody can follow at Slow Feet Comics on Instagram.
That's your imprint that you're starting up.
That
right?
is, yeah. Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, okay. Well, basically, I just thought if I was going to put all this time, energy, and passion into thank you, Kev. If I'm going to put all this time, energy, and passion into a project, I might as well just see where it leads. I would love to do more charity books. I would love to raise money for other causes. I would love for us to not need to be raising money for the causes that we're raising them for. But, honestly, vulnerable communities are always going to be vulnerable communities, whether or not ICE is running them down or they're being denied, gender affirming care or what have you. These people always need our support, just like everybody needs our support, right? But I do want to raise more funds for different causes, but I also want to do some selfish stuff that doesn't have to wait around for publishers. The reason I haven't put out as much stuff as I have, I'm full of ideas. I'll write until I'm fucking blue in the face. It's the publisher game. It's handshaking on deals and having them go away. It's long launch windows and oh yeah, we're scheduled out until 2029 and we'll get you in after that. That's what's stopping you guys from seeing everything that it is that I have to offer. So putting some stuff out on Kickstarter and doing my own thing just seems to make sense.
Yeah, and Kickstarter is a great way to go about it too. I mean, like you said, why, if you have a project that's ready to go, right? And a publisher can't fit you in for 2 years, but you've got it. You've got the artist, you got everything. You can get it done within 6 months to a year. I mean, and you have an idea, and maybe it holds some relevance. And maybe in 2 or 3 years it just won't hit the same.
Right. It's true. Certain books are timely, and certain books are part of the zeitgeist. And you miss your window. You're absolutely right. So, I would like to think that all of my stuff is evergreen. My horror isn't going to go away. The fact that Swallower of Shades came out in 2023 doesn't diminish how good of a book it is and how self-contained it is. Yeah. And I do want to write universal stuff. But yeah, I don't want to miss the window. I don't want to miss the moment. I'm getting up there in age. I'm dealing with severe health stuff right now. So I can't just twiddle my thumbs or sit on my fingers and wait for publishers to come around. And it's not even that they don't want to do it. It's that they don't want to do it on the same timeline that I want to do it.
Yeah, you get to a certain age, you're like, dude, I don't know how much longer I have. I can't fucking sit around and wait.
Oh, I'm guaranteed I'm over the hill. I'm well past my halfway point. If I make it to 70, I'll be lucky. So
Damn,
you know,
70's
I
not
don't.
bad though. I know a lot of people. I mean, if I could be healthy till 70, right? I'll be happy,
Think about
right?
getting alive at 70. That sounds
Yeah.
horrible.
Why, man? 70's not that bad, that old. I know a lot of 70-year-olds that are still like tip top and do a lot of shit, man.
I'm pretty sure I won't be. I got already had so many operations
Yeah.
and stuff done.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, I've done enough damage to my body, and my body's defective as is. So
Mhm.
I'm not lasting all that long. I was shocked to make it to 40. I'm playing with house money. I always said if I make it to 80, I'm starting to do heroin and stuff like that because, you know, why the fuck not at that point? And
Does your wife know about these plans?
oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Her plans are to be like living elsewhere at that point. Like if I'm making it to that age, like she's got her own place in New York or
Yeah.
Paris or something, and I'm just you know, mainlining on my own. Is it, you know, starting my own opium den? I don't know, but it just being reckless because why the hell not?
Yeah,
But
cool.
yeah, I have a lot of stories I want to tell,
Yeah.
and you know that there isn't a definitive amount of time to do it. So, Slow Feet Comics, hopefully, it'll be a way of me getting sort of a pressure outlet.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I know
It's a good idea that you start with an anthology because Kickstarter loves an anthology. I've noticed that, especially horror ones. So I'm thinking that's a good place to start.
Johnny, I love anthologies. I want to be a part of a bunch of them. Like, I think that's where I really sing is in shorter stories. I when I write prose, I write short horror fiction. So I want to be a part of a bunch of different anthologies. I'm going to be, you know, trying to get into all the ones that are popular right now, all the EC Comics relaunch and the Creep Show from Image and all that good stuff in the very near future.
Right on. Yeah. But like I think that crowdfunding, like it's one of the main ways to go right now, in my opinion. Like we kind of talked about off air. Like most of the people that we talk to and that I trust, they say that if you can't self-publish, crowdfund.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about your at like cons or just conventions and stuff. I know the season's starting to slow down. It always slows down a little bit as we get closer to the holidays. But do you have anything lined up that you'd want to plug or anything like that? I know you just said you were with Jonathan at one recently where you tabled with him and stuff. So he's actually going to be on he's going to be on the show next week, actually. So.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, he's got a new book out. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to reading it myself. I believe it's Never by Night #2.
Yeah, volume 2, book 2.
Yeah, volume 2.
Yeah.
So there aren't any shows that I'm planning on plugging. I kind of kept my lineup for 2025 light because of this project.
Yeah.
I may jump into it's a show called Mary Gothmas in December in Ventura, California. I might do that. I might not. It depends on how far along we are with the Horror Not Hate project.
Yeah.
But yeah, my 2025 was very light on shows. I wound up doing a panel at LA Comic Con a few weeks ago, which was really cool. That's where we officially announced the Horror Not Hate book. But 2026, I'm actually planning on branching out. Like you said, Joe, it is going to be the year for me. So I'm going to start doing my first out-of-state shows at that point. And it really sort of like spread the gospel of J.M. Brandt horror.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So any particular one you want to maybe hit up that a goal you have for a convention or some kind of outside of state? Which one is one that you'd love to go to?
I really want to do Rose City is like my number one. Yeah.
What's that one?
So that's Portland, Oregon. You know, home of the frog. I love it up there. It's not too terribly far. I think there's a lot of cred behind it. They curate their artist alley, which I think is really cool. and I want to be back in that city and be at sort of the, for all intents and purposes, I'd call that the epicenter of indie comics right now, and it has
Okay.
been for some time.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one. I would love to do some, just very selfishly in cities where I have good friends living.
Yeah.
Anything
it-
in Chicago, if I could do C2E2,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Emerald City would be rad.
Emerald City, is that one? That one's in Seattle, right? Emerald
That
City.
is, yeah. Uh-huh. And honestly, like anywhere that wants to have me. If you're in like some middle of nowhere town in Michigan and you run a con and you want to fly me out, like I'll do it. 2026 is the year that I will just be a whore for travel.
There you go. Awesome. Nice.
Right on.
Yeah, man.
You got anything else, Joe? Or
No, man. I think that covers pretty much. Like, wanted to let him plug his books that are still on sale. Because I mean, charity works fine and all, but you still got to pay your bills. So
yeah, that's true.
yeah.
But I mean, if like I could get 5 people to sign up for the pre-launch, and that's the link that's underneath my name on the video, bit.ly / horror not hate, HNH are capitalized. That goes a long way. And if you could tell people that you think would be interested in supporting the political cause, the social cause, or they just like horror, or they want to get a bunch of cool shit or cool horror art, that's what's like most important to me right now.
yeah,
Is just making sure that this raises as much money as we can.
we'll definitely
Nice.
keep shouting out the link for the campaign, and also like maybe closer to when it launches, if you want to come on with like an artist or two, that could be fun.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I would love to chop it up with some of these creators. Some I know personally, some I don't. Some I only met because they were interested in supporting the cause. But it's been great, and everybody's been really supportive and cool, and I find that I have a lot more kindred spirits than I thought I did. It's really gratifying to know.
I know.
Yeah.
Cool beans, man.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be back tomorrow night. Actually, we got like interviews the rest of this week, I think, except for the 19th. But
Busy guys.
tomorrow night we're gonna have Nathan Price and Brandon DePillis on to talk about their new graffiti horror comic Drip, which just launched on Kickstarter. It's a great deal. I recommend going and checking it out, the Kickstarter for that. And then on Friday we're gonna have Cavi Bowerman on to talk about his book that actually is just finishing up on Kickstarter, Bandit, which is kind of like this really cute Batman bootleg thing that he's doing. It's kind of Dick Tracy-esque, Love and Rockets meets Batman.
I like Bandit. Yeah.
Oh, you've checked it out? Yeah.
I have, yeah. No, I follow his account. I'm a big fan of Bandit.
He's a talented kid, man. When I look at him and see how young he is, I'm just like, I'm so fucking jealous of you, dude.
Oh no. How old? How old?
I don't know. He looks like he's 20, man. Like, he looks like a
Well,
sweet
so
kid.
do I, Johnny. Don't I?
Yeah, and Saturday we're gonna have Hans Fink on to talk about Pulp Oddities. He has his Kickstarter running too. I didn't make the thumbnail yet. I'll probably be doing that tomorrow. So we'll have a little image to post up, and we'll post it. And so that'll close out our week on Saturday.
And that's on Kickstarter right now too. It's another
Yeah.
anthology. Not sure exactly how big it is, but looks pretty fun. It looks like he's gonna have some of the same characters that he uses in the vein in it. So
Yeah. The lawyer, what's his name? Snarklefunk or whatever.
yeah.
I forget his name. Snorkel something anyway. Yeah. So cool, man. Thanks for coming by and chatting with us. Always fun. Hopefully
Thanks
we'll
for
get to
having
do
me
it.
back.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to do it sooner rather than later. Again,
Absolutely.
the next time. Yeah.
Me on. Yeah, I don't even need to pitch anything. Like anytime you want me on just to shoot the shit or give my
Nice.
2 cents, I'm happy to do it.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
So remind everyone, go back that pre-launch page, or not
Yes.
back, but sign up to the pre-launch.
It's in the description.
bit.ly/horror not hate, capitals on each word.
Yeah.
Yeah, or follow at Slowfeet Comics on Instagram or at j.m.brandt on Instagram, and you'll be getting updates that way too.
That way as well. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Man. Thanks. So thanks again for coming on. It was a pleasure talking to you. And
Likewise.
Johnny,
Yeah.
outro time.